Hey yo, what's good? It's Itserikaregine back with another story time, and this is the first story time of 2022. So y'all hit me up with some love, okay? I got a request like a few months back to do this, so I'm finally just getting to it. But anyway, before we get into it, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell so you know every time that I upload. Share with your friends, know the type of content they would like to see. Hit me up in the comments, and I'm gonna hit everybody back with a like, a heart, and a nice reply to go with it. Okay, just show me some love. 2022, we're trying to grow over here. But the story time today will be about 3 or 4 of my dating horror stories, okay? It's not many, but I'm gonna tell y'all about them. So the first one, okay, the first one is about me doing purple kush the first time, okay? So if y'all don't know what that is, I might put a picture up. If I don't, then y'all just gonna have to find it on your own. Just go Google it or something. So anyway, I met the guy off of Tinder, right? I don't recommend this for nobody. Don't do it, okay? I just hit him up and was like, hey, I'm just trying to find people to smoke with. That's like maybe a year ago. I used to be a very heavy smoke head or a weed head, so now I'm just clean slate. I don't do none of that, okay? So I met him on Tinder. He was like, okay, we can link. So he came up to my college at the time, and he had already had it rolled, right? So he was like, okay, let's catch the bus to a shopping center, a mall, and we can go to the movies over there and probably get something to eat afterwards. So once we get off the bus, we find somewhere to smoke. We smoke, and I'm just sitting there like, whoa, like I've never felt this way off of just regular weed, right? He was like, maybe I just got some stronger stuff. And I was like, okay. So we walk into the mall. It's like it's not even a mile away from where we smoked at. So we're walking, and as I'm walking, right, I'm just like, this don't feel right. So let me like kind of watch him, because I didn't see him roll it, for one. I don't know what he put in it, for 2. He might have laced it. For 3, I'm alone with this guy. Nobody really knows I'm with him, right? So we go to the movies, and when the movie we went to go see was Get Out. If you don't know that movie, Get Out, please watch it, okay? So this is the most dramatic part of the whole high, right? So when we get in the movie, you know that part when she taps on the glass and she's like, sink?
Now, sink into the floor.
Wait.
Sink.
Bitch, I sunk through the fucking seat. Like, I really felt like I sunk with the motherfucker. Like, I was sitting there like, oh, hold up, I gotta take a nap. Like, I gotta go to sleep. I gotta come down from this, because this don't feel right. I'm getting a headache. I'm getting the sweats. My heart is beating fast. I feel like I'm actually in the fucking movie. Something ain't right about this, right? So he like, oh, you gonna fall asleep and I didn't pay you for the movie and the snacks? Okay, like, I'm not about to die. I'm not about to overdose on fucking weed. I don't know if that's possible, but that's how the fuck I felt. So anyway, we went on with the date, and after we got out of the movie, I was like, I'm going home because I need to sleep. Like, I need to just come down from this, whatever. He was like, oh, you don't want to come back to my place? It's right around the corner. I was like, oh, hell no. This feel like some date, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, this feel like some date R right here. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna just catch the bus home. I'll talk to you later. So I called the bus home. Then like I went to sleep, and I woke up like at maybe midnight, maybe 1 o'clock, and I texted him. I was like, what was in that? Like, I didn't see you roll it. We just smoked it. He was like, well, it might have been this. Then he sent me a picture of some purple kush. And I was like, bro, block my number, because I don't feel right about that. Like, it was my fault, because I should have been more aware of what he was doing. But at the same time, it's just like I only met him like once or twice at that point, and I'm just like, it's kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, we're gonna get on to the second story. Let me know how y'all feel about that first one, okay? The second story, right, is about the time I dated a guy for like 3 weeks. It was like 3 weeks. So it was like my first year of college. It was like my first summer, like once I was in college. So like that first year out, going into my sophomore year, And it was the summertime, and I was like, you know what, I want to find, don't judge me, okay, I want to find a boyfriend to hang out with for the summertime, right? Like, I just want to have fun with somebody while I'm out of school. So again, I get on Tinder, right, and I find him. And just a disclaimer, if anybody that I'm talking about right now, if you're watching this video, please don't take it personally. Like, this is just my experience. I'm not lying or nothing like that, so you should know exactly what's going on. I'm not trying to down your name, that's why I'm not saying anybody. I'm just telling a story, okay? So let it be. So anyway, I'm dating this summer guy, right? And he actually went to one of my friends' colleges. And I was like, okay, I texted her and I was like, hey, do you know him? Because on Tinder, they show you like your Facebook. If you got your Facebook hooked up to your Tinder, it tells you like your mutual friends. And she was his mutual friend. So I hit her up and I was like, hey, do you know anything about him? And she was like, yeah, I know about him. We went to a few parties together and he recently got kicked out of college. So I was like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't really think nothing of it, right? So started dating him, and I don't really want to go into all the details because I don't want to put his business out there like that, but the dude was not in a good situation, not a good living situation, not a good financial situation, and not a good hygienic situation either. So I was just blind in dating people at the time. So then it was just one time where we went out, we went somewhere, like I think it was one of my friend's birthday parties, right? And like a week before, he had gotten into a basketball injury. I don't think that's what happened, but he got into a basketball injury, but he still decided to come out to the hookah club with us. So we go, and then when we're coming back, it's like 5 of us in a tiny Honda Civic, and he's like, yo, please don't touch my knee, because if you touch my knee, it's gonna fuck me over, right? So I'm like, we all cram in this car. There's no way that I can't touch your knee, but alright. So I climb over him, and he screams out in agony, and I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, but at the same time, it's just like, why did you come out to somebody's birthday party when you know you can't really do shit? Like, he was walking way behind, and I'm trying to stay with the party and stay with him at the same time. So I'm just like, bruh. So at the same time, like right after the hookah club, we all like go pick up some more weed, right? So we go to this park, and we roll up and we smoke it, right? So while we're there, this guy who's with us, this gay guy, he's like, yo, I'm kind of noticing your energy towards your boyfriend is kind of off. What's going on? And I mean, I was just telling him, I was like, I don't think this is gonna work out. Like, it's just too many things off with this guy. I'm having to pay for everything. I'm having to do everything for him. Things are just kind of off with us. The energy is just not there with me, and I think it's over. He was like, okay, but you should probably tell him that instead of like walking away. And I'm like, I get that, but at the same time, it's just like, I should have never did that in the first place. Like, the whole situation was just, it was just messed up. I'm not gonna tell y'all all of it because I just think it's a little too much to tell somebody's whole life like that, especially when I haven't talked to him in years. But I just remember it was one time where the friend that I talked to get to know him, like the person that I hit up to be like, hey, do you know this guy? I remember like a month after we broke up, right? They brought him to my house, and you know, he had never been to my house, y'all. He had never been to my house. So they pulled up to my house with him in the car, and he like, yo, I'm sorry, I finally got a job, I'm looking to get a car, I'm going back to school, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, like that don't mean I want you back. I don't care about none of that. And the worst thing about it was, I told y'all he had a hygienic problem, right? For some reason, while we were dating, he found this hoodie somewhere. I don't know where he found it, but it was this black hoodie, zip up hoodie, and he found it. I was like, where'd you get that from? Because it was new when I saw him. He was like, I mean, I just found it somewhere. So I'm like, red flag, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't really think of it like that, because I was, oh my, I don't know, like I just wasn't thinking. So anyway, when he came, like that hoodie, from the day he wore it the first time, it smelled like armpits, and to the day that they brought him to my house and he still had it on, it smelled like armpits. So I was just like, bro, this is just enough to tell me you ain't changed. So you got a job, so you trying to get a car, you still ain't fixed the main issue, bro. I can smell you from a mile away. That's not good. It's not good at all. So anyway, that's the end of that dating horror story. I think that one was just very, very, very unnecessary on my part. I'm not even faulting him. I should have never got into that. Okay. So these last two story times, a lot of my dating horror stories happened in like around my last 2 high school years and my first 2 years of college. Okay, so the first one will start off in high school, right? So when I was in high school and it was like my senior year, I didn't have a prom date. Okay, like I said in like one of the last story times, y'all go back and watch them. I was not trying to date nobody in high school. I wasn't even trying to look for no prom date. I was just gonna go with my friend, right? That's what we had already planned to go together because she didn't have a date either, right? So we was like, we just going girl night it out, right? So I was in class with this guy and I was talking to somebody beside me and I was like, yeah, I don't have a prom date, right? And he was sitting in front of me and he just turned around, just, you want to be my prom date? And I'm like, I don't want to embarrass you and say no in front of everybody and they looking us right in the face, so sure, right? I was like, yeah, sure, we can figure it out, right? So we're trying to work it all out. We get each other's number, we get each other's information and all of that, and he starts to catch feelings, right? So I'm just like, this is not what I wanted. Like, for one, I was okay going by myself. For two, I definitely don't want to be with you. Like, I'm not in the mood. I don't want it, right? So he's like, oh, you trying to play hard to get. Why do guys do that? If I tell you no, motherfucker, it's no. Like, I don't want you. I'm not playing hard to get. I would think you would know if I'm playing hard to get. I would kind of be flirting with you, but I'm not. But anyway, then we start getting into the, the color scheme of the prom thing, right? So he's like, I want to go in black and white. And I'm like, I'm not getting married to you, so no, I don't want to wear black and white. That's boring as fuck. Like, it's prom. Why are we going in black and white? I want to wear lavender. Like, back then, lavender was my favorite color. So I can put up a prom picture of me and my I can just put up a prom picture of me in that dress so you can see, okay? So he was like, nah, if we can't get together on the color scheme, then I don't want to go with you. I was like, fine. Like, I was okay with going by myself anyway, and I was gonna wear that color regardless. So, like, hopefully you find another date, right? So he was like, well, I guess I'm not going to prom. Like, trying to guilt trip me. I'm like, bro, that's on you. Either I see you or I don't, but that's not gonna make me back out. I done already bought my ticket, so that's alright. I don't care. So then he had a sister, right? He had a sister and she hit me up and she was like, if I can do your makeup for $5, will you reconsider? Well, she was like, if I can do your makeup for free, will you go to prom with my brother? And I was like, no, like, because I don't want to wear black and white and he won't budge and neither will I, so it's no point, right? And then she just kept texting me like every week and I'm like, bro, leave me alone. Like, I'm not going with your brother. Leave it alone. So she was like, okay, well, just let me do the makeup for $5, right? So she comes over to the house and she does the makeup. And girl, I hope you got better over the years. It's been like, what, 6 years since that happened? But my face has been breaking out ever since then. I think her shit was probably dirty or something, but my face was so clean back then. But now it's just like so many, I don't know. And I don't wear makeup. Like, I don't wear makeup at all. At all. I haven't worn makeup since then. So, girl, I hope your skills have gotten a lot better if you're still doing people's makeup. But anyway, we go to prom, right? And tell me why a dude still shows up, right? He still shows up in like this church, like the shoes don't match, the pants don't match, and the suit is too big. The suit jacket is too big for him. So he comes in there and he's like, hey. And I'm like, hey, like, it's the end of prom, right? Like, we're about to pack up and leave. Everybody's packing their shit up to go. So he's like, hey, I'm here. And I'm like, all right, how you doing? Like, what am I supposed to say? We not here together. Like, go mingle with your friends, go do whatever you want, but I'm not about to act like I'm not gonna act like you're my date, right? So at the end, he still like kind of lingers around me, and like I said, I went to the prom with my friend and another girl, right? And he ended up getting in the car with me. My friend told me, she was like, why would you allow him to get in the car? I'm like, for one, I didn't say shit to him. For two, you have every right to tell him to get the fuck out. Like, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Like, it's not my date. So she was like, whatever. So we go to the Silver Diner, right? We go to the Silver Diner. He comes with us, and we have a good time there. And when we're like leaving, his sister comes to pick him up, and she takes pictures of us. I'll put those up as well. So we have a pretty good time, but then after that, things just went, everybody that was there, everything just went downhill from there. Like, high school keeps stuff together, but once you have time away and you basically communicating over text and calls and social media, it's a little hard. But anyway, that was just that story. That prom dating story was just, it was uncomfortable because for one, he caught feelings. For two, he was trying to control everything. And for three, I'm stubborn as fuck. You're not about to, I had already bought my dress. And you're not about to control me. You're not about to control me. Like, that's just not it. Then, okay, so this is the last story, right? This is the last story of the day. This one was just hella weird. Okay, both of them dudes was in, the guy that went to prom, he went to, I think he went to the Marines after high school. And then this guy that I'm about to tell the story about is was in the Air Force when I met him. I met him off of Tinder as well, okay? Please don't do what I did, okay? Take these as examples to not do the stuff that I've done, okay? Anyway, I met him off of Tinder and we met up a few times, but it was one time when we actually went on a date, right? But we went to Chick-fil-A for a date. I can't remember what we did after that, but I just remember this part. My mom, well no, I had like $20, right? But she dropped me off. My mom dropped me off to the Chick-fil-A. And while I was getting out the car, I'm like, bro, I can't find my $20, right? And I couldn't find my card or nothing. I was just like, you know, I don't know. So I just went there to him and I was like, hey, do you mind like paying for my dinner? He was like he gave me that face like, really? I gotta pay for your shit? And I'm like, damn, like it's Chick-fil-A. It's not like we had fucking Olive Garden or some shit. So he paid for it because I didn't have no money, right? So we sitting there, and you know, you want to date with somebody, you expect to talk to them across the table. That's what a date is, right? So he's sitting there eating, like gobbling his shit down, and I'm like, you know, how was your day? What are your aspirations? What the like, just fucking talking to him, right? So he's like giving me one word fucking answers, and I'm like, you don't like talking much, do you? And he's like, I don't like talking while I'm eating. I'm like, bruh, so what the fuck you invite me out to a place to eat then? Like, you expect me to just sit here and eat and not talk to you? That's weird as fuck. So that was just red flag number one. Then it was another time where I told him I like video games. Now this is just a little sidebar. I have a gaming channel. If anybody wants to subscribe to that, it will be down in the description, and I'll have it up on the top right of this video. Okay, so hopefully that's the right, whichever corner. Okay, so he's like, hey, I know you like video games. I got an Xbox over here. I didn't have a PlayStation or anything yet. And he was like, hey, if you want to come over, we can play video games, watch Netflix, and chill, right? Now, we all know what that means. At that time, I wasn't doing none of the nasty. So I knew he was not getting none of the nasty, right? So I go over there. He picks me up. I don't know where he picked me up from, but he picks me up, and we go back to his dorm because he stayed on the base, right? So I'm playing video games for a little bit. And then I'm like, I'm hungry, right? And he's like, okay, well, we could go to Chipotle or something. So before we leave, this guy is like all up on me, and I'm like, I don't feel comfortable doing this because, for one, you got I think he had like one or two male dorm room mates, and they were just like right there. So whatever we were doing, they could hear. And I was just like, I don't do that stuff. And for one, I don't really know you, so even if I was doing it, I wouldn't give it to you. So I was just like, can we just go get something to eat, and maybe sometime in the future we could get there, but not right now. So he's like, basically like, I brought you all the way fucking over here and you don't want to do shit. Well, that's your fault, you know? You should have found somebody who was willing. I'm not. So anyway, we go down to a shopping center for the Chipotle, and he's like, you got your money this time, right? I'm like, damn, like, fuck. I understand we not dating, you don't necessarily have to pay for me, but if I went out with, even if I was out with a friend, right? And they're like, damn, I left my wallet or something home. I wouldn't fret and be like, damn. Like, I'd be like, all right, it's fine. If you want to pay me back, you can. If you don't, fine. It's like, just, it's, when you die, you can't take money with you. So what am I fretting over it for here? But anyway, he's like, you got your money this time, right? And I'm like, yeah, like, damn. And that was just, I didn't speak to him after that. Like, I just ghosted him because I was just like, that's just weird energy to me, that you want to mess with some girl. You want to put your thing in some girl, but you're not willing to, you're not willing to do that. You're not willing to throw a few $8 maybe out. You're not willing to do that. That's just weird to me. If I was a dude, I would wine and dine a girl that I'm trying to get up into, because it's just like, that is her most prized possession, and if she's willing to give it to you, you must be worth something. So why would she want to give you her most prized possession when you're not willing to do anything? And I'm not saying money is the, ultimate thing to do, but you gotta do something. Like, you gotta do something. So anyway, y'all, that's the end of that video. Let me know what you think about them 3 or 4 stories. I know they were pretty short, but I just wanted to get y'all this story time. I know I haven't done one in a minute. So if y'all want to hear any other story times, make sure you leave it down in the comments, okay? Let me know, and I can definitely tell y'all about them, okay? I feel like the first one was the most like a horror story because it was kind of scary. So with that being said, please be aware. Do not be naive out here with who you messing with. Just let somebody know where you're at all times. Let somebody know who you're messing with. Let somebody know what you're doing, because at any time people can switch up on you. All these reactions that I'm doing, you can see people seem nice, but then at any second they can switch and show you their true colors, and at that time it might be too late. So make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell so you know every time that I upload. Share with your friends if you know this type of content they would like to see. Hit me up on all the socials, which will be up on the top right of this entire video, okay? Show your girl some love, okay? Please, always keep your eyes open. Always have the best interest for yourself. Ask people questions. Do you think this is a good idea? All of that. But without me rambling even more, y'all have a good 2022. Y'all be safe out here. Y'all be good. And peace out.